All right. Hello and welcome back to Always Off Brand, where we take e-commerce and we simplify it. I am your co-host, Summer Jubileer, along with Scotty Ashman.
Your intro is so professional. It's so like you script it. Like it's fantastic. It's so well done.
The profession starts and ends there.
Yeah.
And then it's out the door.
Thank God.
Like, woo, got that off.
Different kind of show.
I was presenting my Prime Day results to our team the other day. And when I'm presenting, like I can't have any distractions, right? So, but one of the best compliments I got, someone goes, "Oh my God, Summer is presenting better than the Olympic presenters." And I was like, "Oh!" They're like, "She's so exciting."
Presenters.
Like, people are like, Simone on the bars. How did you do that flip? Blah, 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 blah. That's how I sounded apparently. And I just thought it was like the best compliment you could ever give me.
That is,
I was just like,
nice.
that is just like.
Have you got, other than Alona Mar, have you gotten into the Olympics at all?
No. I see the highlights on whatever they throw on like Instagram, but I'm not. No.
Oh, look who's here. We didn't say Haley Brucker in the news is going to be here in just a second. She's going to be here in just a second.
Literally.
By the way, listener, we're recording on a new thing. We actually have video. By the time you hear this, I could put this on the Quickfire YouTube page, which we've had for years. Welcome into the program, Haley Brucker in the news.
Good morning.
Oh, there you are. Look at this. You're back. You're at home.
I'm at home. My house does exist.
I'm shook right now.
Back in the home office. No, I forgot my charger, and it was the whole thing. I came home so I could charge my computer and be here.
That's so sweet of you. How are you feeling better? You didn't answer my text because you're a non-responder. We already covered that.
I am a non-responder. Yeah, I'm feeling better. I really need a couple days off. That would be nice.
Okay. Summer, you had a whole story. Well, first of all, we started this recording because you were a deep treasure hunt for a cord that.
So I'm curious. Does anyone else here on the phone have a drawer just filled with cords?
No. And you know why? I'm going to get this because we're on video now. I'm going to get this. Hold on.
No. Oh, he's really Oh, Scott, we're both in pink.
Oh, fantastic.
Does he have a bag of cords? Is that what he has?
This is my case. This goes everywhere. I used to work for the Great Mountain Smith. And in here, I have them neatly organized.
Oh,
listening, you don't care. But anyway, I keep all my cords in one place all the time, and I've cut down on my cords.
So I think you're a psychopath because what normal people do is they just keep collecting cords. And I think from every laptop I've had since 1999, I still have the cord for. And I have this like deep millennial need to keep it. And I was like going through my drawers because I cannot find a cord for my microphone. I'm using a 4-inch cord for this mic.
And what cord?
A 4-inch.
Oh.
You should see the size of this cord.
It's 4 inches.
Insert joke there.
Hey, it gets the job done. You can all hear me just fine. But I feel like there's been these things on like TikTok that talk about how like a millennial, like, please, round of hands, including our guests. Do you keep your Apple phone boxes after you? Yes, Ash is shaking her head. That's our guest. We'll be introducing her soon. Haley does. Scott?
What was the question? I got distracted.
Do you keep like your Apple phone boxes or your Mac boxes or your PC boxes?
This is a big fight, actually. I don't want to, but the wife requires it.
Why? What did we go up with?
I don't know because if we're gonna sell it or get rid of it or something, I don't know. This is just I do what I'm told, Summer.
I don't know what it is. Like if I return my phone, they'll give me a better like rate if I return it in the original box that it came in. I don't understand.
The one thing about those boxes and things, if you've had a Mac, they're gorgeous.
They are pretty.
You feel bad.
You guys are hoarders. Why are you keeping this stuff? Like, you don't need it. When are you? Okay.
I'm a former hoarder, but I'm not a hoarder.
But have you ever used the box that you've kept?
It's so pretty.
Oh my God! Wait.
So hang it on your wall. Like, no. Why are you?
What is that, Summer?
No, so when I started my job,
what?
First of all, yes, I'm clearly a hoarder of chargers and cords and Apple and Dell boxes, because I was going through my office last night or the day before, and I was like looking for this cord. I'm finding all these things. Guys, I don't even have this computer anymore.
So let the box
go. I don't know why I haven't let it go, Haley. I'm gonna try. I don't understand.
Does it bring you joy?
None. I forgot it was in there. Like, I didn't know. So when I started at my company, little pro tip for anyone starting at a new company, they sent me a Mac. I've never used a Mac. I take it back. I haven't used a Mac since I was 24. I used it for like 2 years. So as we know, I do Amazon, and you're always constantly in Excel spreadsheets. And the amount of stress Mac gave me, I called my office and I was like, this is affecting my mental health. I need a new computer. I cannot function with this because I can't get a simple task done. And, it worked for me. They were like, you have to try it out for 6 months. So at 6 months, one day I called them and I was like, I cannot work on this thing anymore.
Weren't we recording the show? Because I think this is well documented in the public record. Your panic with the Mac. Your whole thing, you couldn't handle it. You just couldn't. Yeah. It wasn't working for you.
I would wake up in the morning stressed out about it because I just couldn't get it to work, which is kind of how I think you're feeling about the software we're using today, Scott.
Yeah, I've had some practice on it. StreamYard, everybody. We're gonna see how it goes. But speaking of that, I mean, can you guys see the recording time in the top left?
Yeah.
Okay. See how everybody knows where we are on the show? Oh, by the way, I should tell you now, rather than last week when I completely surprised you, at some juncture, I'm just going to pop into a Magic Mind ad. I'm just going to go to the fridge, pop one, and we're going to do the reads and stuff, which I probably should get that organized. Okay. Is it time for the guest?
Yes. Bring her in.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's been here before. She's part of the faithful 48 listeners. In fact, apparently the man she's related to by marriage also has been forced to listen to the show. She runs e-commerce for a huge company, and she wants to talk Prime Day with you, ladies and gentlemen. Returning guest, Ash McMullen.
Woo!
Was that a everyone? Yeah, I didn't really get your official title and stuff.
You got it.
That's great.
Yeah, you got it. Head of Ecom. And yes, my husband does enjoy listening and understands what I do, thanks to all of you. So
yay! We're making a difference in lives, marriages really even.
Advantice is a ginormous conglomerate of multiple brands. I'm probably overstating it. Ash, you're a big you're a speaker. You're speaking again at ETEL Boston, aren't you?
Yes, I'm on a panel this time about tentpole events and Prime Day among them. And I'm excited because I know everyone that's on the panel, which is, I feel, rare.
Thanks for getting me. I'm moderating like 4 sessions. I didn't get a call. Thanks a lot, Ash.
Brian Lang from Future Commerce is our moderator.
Oh, okay. Bigger podcast. Sure.
You're you have 4.
No, I think it's 3, but I'm thrilled.
Who's counting?
Anyway, this is your show, Ash. You created this show. This episode is all about Ash McMullen, and she wants to talk with Summer, and I'm going to just, Haley, you and I just...
Stop it.
Feeling like a villain.
Your opinion matters.
No, it doesn't. You guys are hoity-toity. You have like things that I don't, I used to have. I'm out.
Well, I know this was the first Prime Day in forever. I haven't really participated.
Yeah, see, we were out.
I know, it's interesting. The brands I have right now it wasn't relevant for them.
All right.
Well,
Well, that's
I
great.
think that's a good no. Let's start
Yeah.
there for a second because I think that's a really good point. Because Amazon will make you believe this is a big deal for everybody. And at the end of the day, it's not. It depends on what your product is. Ash and I both have a consumable product, which is what I love about Prime Day, right? Because I'm all about like, give me those new consumers, like get those to me because I have a high return rate. Like I need those new consumers. But if you're like a mattress company, if you are like selling like a hard good. Jeez, I'm like hardware. That's wrong. Like it doesn't really make sense unless you're trying to, like we talked about in the last call, like Apple was getting rid of their old generation headphones. So they discounted that because they needed to move through inventory. And I think what we need to make clear on the call today is that you need to take advantage of Amazon because for 363 days of the year, they take advantage of you. And Prime Day is your opportunity to take advantage of them.
That's a hot take right there. That's a hot take. Is it not?
Scott. I don't know, but it's
Juicy
my
nugget?
opinion.
Of you?
I would say, I would agree with that in a way because it's you're getting all like incremental eyeballs and it's you do all this prospecting for lead up and you're driving all this traffic, but now like Amazon's advertising themselves and building up Prime Day and bringing that traffic to you, and you get to basically, like, if you strategize and do it like quote unquote correctly, you can definitely work that to your advantage and reap the benefits of it.
But Ash, do you like to spend money as much as Summer Jubileer? That's the real question.
I believe so. I think I spent in 2 days what we spend in a month on some items.
Okay.
I love it. So
Ash, what is this great strategy? You want to do this whole thing. How did you do it? Set it up, Summer.
So Ash, one of the things I loved that you were sharing previously was just the setup to Prime Day. Can you share a little bit about what your brand did leading into the days, weeks, and months before the event?
Yeah. So our 3 biggest brands are Carousel, Amlactin, and Triple Paste. So Carousel's in the foot care category, Amlactin's in body lotion, and Triple Paste is in diaper cream. So we've got like 3 different categories, and Amlactin was one that was really important to us for this Prime Day because we see like a new baseline after every tentpole event. Nice. And body lotion is in someone's routine. So it's like our new to brand, there's a smaller percentage of shoppers that's like a brand new to body lotion. It's more getting converting someone from their legacy brand or brands that they've tried that like is not really working. And ours has lactic acid. It's a little bit more specialized and therapeutic. It's a little bit more premium priced.
They're ready for an upgrade.
Yeah. So it's like we have to get them like away from one of the other brands in the category. And Prime Day is a really great opportunity for that because being premium priced, when we have a promotion running, it's more entry friendly. So we've got that. And so we started back in like really May and prospecting and driving incremental like new to brand traffic to
what were some of the things you're doing for prospecting? So we talk about prospecting, which is the top of the funnel. What were some of like for those listening, what were some of those type of ads that you're running? What platforms were you on?
So a lot of it was our DSP campaigns through Amazon, but we leaned more into STV for streaming TV. We also did test out Prime Video ads this year. And because that's been something that's been talked about a lot. And it's like, all right, well, this is the perfect time to try it. We also did updated content. So we worked with the Desire company and did expert videos. And so we have like Dr. Rachel Ernest, who's a dermatologist, that talked about the benefits of lactic acid, and we have a vitamin C lotion. So we did like things like that. And then we also have Tanya Buford Bailey, who is a 3-time Olympic runner. She's Gabby Thomas's coach for and she's in the Olympics now, like favored in the 200 meters. So it's really relevant right now. So we took those and ran those on YouTube in our meta campaigns and did a lot of like lead up in all different places. Like, so we had multiple activations around like the stratosphere of this and driving to.
Well, let me ask you something, Ash.
Shit right there, Ash McMullen.
What's the return on ad spend there? Because it's one of the things we always talk about here.
Like the whole thing? You wanted the whole thing?
No, on the top. Exactly, Haley.
There's
It's
not
top
gonna
of funnel.
be any, right?
Full funnel. It
could be like 0.1 or something.
Right.
So
Well, right.
Instead of sums on the bottom of your screen, listener, we all have little name tags on our little screen here. Could you put full funnel
Yes.
there?
Yes.
Thanks.
So what we're first of all, love what you did, what you're sharing, that you're sharing all the different types because there's not just one. And you're bringing in all these new customers. What were some of your KPIs? Like, what were some of your goals back in May?
So I love like talking about this because I like setting it up because it's not just e-com. It's not just the brand team. It's finance that's heavily involved in like what we're doing. Like I work really closely with that team because it's like, here's what the funding is going to be. You know, are we profitable? This is how much. And so like all of that is set up ahead of time. And like really what are our success metrics? It's not, and I've walked everyone away from like ROAS and those metrics that like, you know, weigh us down. And I've gone more into like traffic and conversion. So
yes,
are we driving more traffic?
Novel concept.
Are we keeping our conversion flat? Is it like, because when traffic goes up, conversion goes down historically.
What goes up must come down. Sorry.
So we've like gotten to the point where it's like, okay, success looks like driving more traffic and keeping conversion flat, or like, and if it goes up, fantastic. And then having a strategy in place for, you know, when we measure that new baseline. And then it's not about, you know, the specific one that like the specific ACE in your advertising. That's where that new baseline is, where you measure your halo impact. So, and that's one of our strategies too. Like we don't do the full catalog. I've seen a lot of like statistics of like a lot of brands have started running their full catalog. That's something like we've gone back and forth about, but it's like, it gets almost like decision fatigue, like which one do I get? So we try to like curate the selection that
you make it easy for the consumer to just convert.
Because it's still an item business, is it not, Ash?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And sometimes like we have, you know, 3 heroes within the brand. 2 of them are like, you know, full size with a pump, and then one other one is smaller. So it's like we always put that smaller one in as that gateway entry point. And so when we're measuring like the results, we're coming back and we have a smaller grouping that's very easy to do like our year over year. And that's one of the bigger things too. Like it's, did we grow year over year? Part of it's, you know, did we hit our forecast or, you know, over deliver on our forecast, but what is that year over year growth? What are the differences that we made? And seeing, you know, this year we took a lot of screenshots. I asked everyone to take screenshots of like what their homepage looks like because everyone had different stuff. So like starting earlier helps because, and again, like having Amazon kind of help you in this regard, it almost kind of worked as like Amazon's retargeting for you. So because it's things that you have shopped before, looked at, or maybe purchased that was appearing like your deals page, which there's 2 sides of looking at that too. Was it good? Was it not good? But
well, was it good?
For certain ones, for ones that like we didn't do as much upper funnel, there was definitely a lower, like we still had year-over-year growth, but it was definitely lower than the others that we really, really pushed upper funnel on.
And were all of your products that you were doing a deal on, were they slash through pricing, or were you running vendor powered coupons, or just coupons? Sorry.
They were all, except for one. One was a buzzworthy deal, which also made a big difference.
Whoa, what is a
Buzzworthy?
Buzzworthy deal?
Do I need to bleep that out?
I feel like for Fall Prime Day, it's like the secret club you have to get in.
Really?
Yeah, it was a new.
Tell us the password.
It was
Tell us the password.
Hold on, let me put my ear.
It was a new type of deal that you had to, like, Amazon had to accept you into, basically. And you need, what I'm assuming, like, you need an AVS to get you in there.
AVS, what is that? What's an AVS? A lot of acronyms on this show.
Your Amazon Vendor Services Manager.
Oh, that costs nothing, right? That's free. They just do that out of the kindness of their heart.
No, it's so not free.
Yeah. The brand Scott and I manage can totally afford that.
100%, yo.
All right, go back to buzzworthy. What is it?
Hey, I just gotta say, it costs a fortune. Okay, costs a fortune. I'm not saying it's worth it. Do it, not do it. I just think that now we're all not living in the cloud like you and Ash are. We're not living in this world.
I feel like we're going out to dinner with friends and we're arguing over whether we go to McDonald's or like a steakhouse.
Or we split our check evenly versus like,
yes.
Wait, hold on.
We're hanging out with the broke friend who's
that
like,
kind of hurts. No. Ouch.
Seriously.
Sorry.
Really?
There was a lot of
broke doesn't mean less
equity that went into the negotiations just with my finance team to be able to get an AVS.
I bet.
A lot of work went into that. There was definitely an ROI figure on that one. I couldn't.
And is it paying off? Is finance happy? Is finance happy, Ash?
I think that's a relative question.
Is finance ever happy, Scott?
Thank you for saying what I was thinking. So
no, and that's their job. God bless them.
You know what? They weren't not happy.
There you go.
Okay. Hey,
so it was a win. There was concessions made from all parties during that negotiation, and we have an AVS and we had a successful Prime Day, so it was all worth it.
Okay, so go back to before my outbursts, which are just, I gotta stop that.
Oh, buzzworthy.
Buzzworthy. You have to have a AVS. What else are the requirements?
My understanding is that they had to like put the ASIN up for approval.
I don't even know. To be honest, I'm sorry, Ash. What is a buzz? I don't even know what that is. Is that on BuzzFeed? Is that, I don't understand.
No, so it sits on the homepage of Amazon. And it'll say like buzzworthy deals.
Oh, okay.
And that is really hot during Prime Day. And so you got a SKU in there. You got one SKU, and did that one like outperform all the others? Yes.
It had like 5x traffic.
Wow.
And 3x the average weekly consumption.
I love that.
Yeah, it blew everything else out of the water.
And did it last for 1 day or 2 days?
The 2 days.
Perfection.
Was your second day?
Now you got to anniversary it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was like, oh, I want to do more of these, please. And now it's like, well, this was a new thing. They just tried it. Now the thresholds are like that much more challenging because now everyone wants to do it. And it's like, well, your ratings have to be like a 4 or 4.5 star, which is understandable. Yes. That's fine.
Right, they're like buzzworthy 2.5 stars.
Yeah, exactly. It's a deeper discount, of course. But the other threshold sounded like the volume needed to be such of like major brands or like the brands that are like newly launched on Amazon that are in like the luxe or professional beauty categories. And so we might not be able to get another SKU in, but our AVS is very optimistic and they were like, I'm still going to try. So,
was it a pay to play? Yes, the AVS or whatever, but you had to commit to a certain funding for this, or was it just a discount?
No, we commit to a certain funding. I mean, that for the other ones too, that were like the Prime Day exclusive best deal that has like the badge and the slash through price and everything. That's where we usually live. And the Buzzworthy was just kind of an opportunity that we're like, yeah, let's test and learn on this one.
Fantastic. Summer?
I think right now, before we get into like what worked, we'll continue into what worked for Prime Day, what you saw as a brand. I'm really curious. And we want to get into relationships. I think we need to take a quick break.
We do. And hold on, though. We're not even going to take a break. Hold on.
He's getting his little mind. It's not mind.
Magic
share.
Mind. Come on.
I need some. You got to send me some more.
Okay.
You got to send me some more because my mind is clearly not working.
More? Wait, I didn't get any in the first place.
I'll send some.
He literally dropped it off at my house. He didn't ship it. You can see it. So it's a cold drink.
It's a cold drink. Okay.
It's cold shot.
Mental performance. Okay. Mental performance shot. That's what this is right here. Mental performance. And God knows I need some. Okay.
What's in it, Scott?
Let's see what's in it. Nootropics, focus, matcha, energy, adaptogens. I had to pause before I said that word. Less stress, vitamins, immunity. It's fantastic because I'm a train wreck, as you people know. Okay. I have songs. I'm like a Spotify on shuffle in my head 24 hours a day. I mean, I need something to calm the rat wheel down. Okay.
And this allows you to focus.
Wording out songs when poor Ash is being a serious professional and I'm just, what goes up? Every line makes me think of a song and then I don't even know the words half the time, to be honest. So Magic Mind, it's fantastic. It's tiny. It's little. It actually tastes great. I take it with my coffee every morning. And I've been doing this. And as I've said this before, if you've been listening, the faithful 38, 48, 42, I don't know, they come and go. I bought this myself. Okay. They were a sponsor a couple years ago or whenever. And I went in, I liked it so much. I spent my own dollar bills. Okay. Summer, did you have anything?
How much is it?
Well, you know what? That's funny. Good question. Let me go over to that screen real quick. Let me go. Where am I? First of all, it's free. If you want to do a trial, it's absolutely 100% free.
Okay.
You just have to use the code, which I'll put in the show notes. Always off trial. Always off trial.
So you go to magicminds.com/always off trial.
Thank you very much. Hold on.
Love that.
It's so much better. Let me sip a couple. Oh, it's sweet. It tastes great. I like the taste, honestly. So you can go to that. Then the other thing is, in addition, once you get your trial, and by the way, you can just cancel that trial. You get 3 bottles to try it, test or teaser. Then you can go, if you want to subscribe, you can get almost up to 48% off the code always off 20. Okay. You can get a subscription always off 20 and you'll be fired up and they just send it to you. It's fantastic. In fact, I've got a new pack coming. I've got a new, I get them in the.
Are you on auto ship? Are you an auto ship?
Oh yeah. I'm an auto kind of person.
I love it.
It's so good. I take it with the coffee. I'm telling you, it extends the caffeine. I don't know why. It gives me a little more focus. You know what I'm talking about, Ash?
It's the nootropics in it.
It is. And Ash listens to the show. She knows me. I'm an absolute disaster. My wife is like, how do you get through a day?
I didn't see how you get through a day. I just don't know how you get through a task.
That is true. See, that's true. With Magic Mind, I can do it a little better. Okay, now we're going to take a quick pause. We'll be back to dive more into this Prime Day because there's not enough Prime Day recaps on LinkedIn. So we got to add a juicy nugget one.
There's not one on Vendor. There's never one on Vendor.
Nothing on Vendor. Vendor is just nobody cares about vendor, which is sad. I'm going to hit pause and we'll be back.
Hey, this is Mike Malazzo, Head of Growth at Forum Brands and writer of United States of Amazon, and you are listening to the Always Off Brand podcast.
All right, we are back. And one of the things we always say here at the AOB studios is people matter. Who you have in your life, whether professionally or personally, people matter and they make a big impact. So the type of relationships you create are super important. So Ash, you had or have a fabulous agency that you're super happy with. Talk a little bit about how they supported you during Prime Day and how they helped you be successful.
Who is it? Let's give them some loving.
Our agency is Global Overview.
Great.
And yeah, they do, we endearingly call them the Go team. They do a great job. Like back in, I mean, we started talking about this. This is like months and months of preparation. I think we started planning this like in Q1, really, of like how we're going to set this up, what we're going to do. So by the time we get to Prime Day, everything is in place. Everything, you know, there's contingency plans upon contingency plans. We also have a great IntentWise tool that helps us with like automated bidding. They set up like hundreds of different rules for, you know, the different like bid strategy that we had based on, you know, what we're seeing with glance views, what we're seeing, like what we saw last year when people are actually purchasing versus when they're actually shopping. And so when we got to Prime Day, the execution was basically shopping the aisle, making sure everything is active, and, you know, working so closely together and building trust, really, and respect of each other. And, you know, you save those moments, like, you know, we're not emailing after hours and unless it's like absolutely necessary. And even like the relationship with our AVS is very, you know, just it kindness goes a long way. Like kindness and respect is just like a very like fundamental, you know, thing that you want to hold on to.
Yeah, but Scott knows and Haley knows, people treat their agencies like they are their servants.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you've been there. Be kind to your agency because at the end of the day, they have only so many hours to work on all of their accounts. And whose account are they going to choose to work on when they have 30 minutes left in their day? If they don't like you, it's not your account. They're not going to tell you that, but they are humans.
Yeah. And being a nice human goes a very long way. And it
sure does.
You know, it's the matter of like how successful your brands are, because they're an extension of you. They're not directly working like under your brand, but they're an extension of you. And that has a lot to do with it. So like, you know, we have a lot of people on that team that I am grateful for every single one of them. But like there was round the clock work being done on our account for 2 days straight. Like I would wake up.
What do you need to do for 2 days, 24 hours a day, 7 days during Prime Day?
Sometimes like we had one ASIN that, you know, the deal got suppressed. We lost the flag. It needed more funding. And that kind of thing happens. I mean, it was a matter of like 30 cents, but still it happens.
It does happen.
You know, I woke up at 5. I had an email that was sent to me at 3 a.m. that was sent to our AVS. And by, you know, 6:30 in the morning, I had a new contract to sign and agree to. And it was back up it was like less than 4 hours that it was down.
Wow.
I mean, if that turned into 12 hours, we would have lost the whole day. Yeah. So that kind of stuff makes a huge difference. And
I think one tip that I want to share with everyone that we ran into, and we did it last year and I just forgot this year, is reaching out to your Amazon ads team and seeing if you can get approval to have your ads or your ASINs that are going to be in deal not suppressed during Prime Day, because there are different profitability rates for your vendor side versus your advertising. And sometimes we've all seen in the tool, Amazon won't advertise it because it's not profitable enough. And you can't. And we ran into that on our Prime Day. And luckily enough, we have amazing teammates over at Amazon. I call everyone like my teammate. Amazing team over at Amazon. We emailed and I've never seen them work. I was like, it's never going to go back up. Like this thing's not going to happen. And 2 hours later, it was back up. And I was like, jaw hit the floor. I've never seen them work that fast. So I do wonder if now that I'm hearing your mini crisis and how quickly that got resolved, if there are some behind the scenes things happening at Amazon about how they can be better supportive during Prime Day from just like their support team. Did you run into any support issues, Scott?
No, but I'm dealing with a whole different level of like Prime Day is a relaxing time for me because we're already set up, we're prepared. The biggest thing, we have limits on our ad spends to where like a ceiling where we just don't want to go. And it's just like you sit and enjoy. And Ash, was your second day bigger than your first day? That's the big story coming out of this Prime Day is day 2 was bigger than it's ever been before in the history of Prime Day. Was it bigger than or no?
The 2 days. So that's an interesting one because this is where I go back to, is it the traffic? Is it the purchases? Or is it just when people actually checked out?
That's me. As a consumer, I checked out on the second day. I didn't check out on the first day.
I checked out on both.
Okay.
So
why? So strategically, as a consumer, why did you check out on day 2?
So as Scott knows, my house is basically Amazon's second warehouse. And I've been having some
they're in reconstruct. They just remodeled, but they're going to add a second garage just for the Amazon delivery truck.
And I have been, ever since Julie Lasso was on, shout out to her, I have just become more environmentally aware.
Ooh, Julie
and
Lasso.
I am trying to be more conscious of how often they're having to drive to my house, how often I'm getting multiple boxes. And so now I've been selecting the ship later so it can ship in fewer boxes, fewer trips. And I've wanted to wait till I felt like my cart was large enough to justify like hopefully just one trip. Meanwhile, the products came in like 18 different boxes. So I don't know I can only do so much.
Isn't there a box you can check now, ship in less packages, and you get like a credit to your Amazon account?
Yes. And that's what I'm talking about. Like you can like, instead of getting where we live, so where Scott and I live, like you can get overnight. Like it'll be here at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning.
We can get it in an hour. We can get it. Yeah.
Where was this when I had babies? But it's so you can, I just say like, I can wait till Thursday to get it, like just delay. So that's why I waited to check out.
I'm convinced everybody, first of all, in vendor, I did have a vendor client that the only way that they forced you to have an offer, the offer wasn't on the first day. It was only live on the second day on that particular funded Prime Day thing, which was irritating. And I tried to, anyway, I think that's part of it, a lot of it. But the ad console was down for over 75 minutes on the first day. I'm sorry. And the ad console was struggling the first day. It was lagging behind. It had huge latency. It was a wackadoo. And I'm telling you, which again, nobody else I've ever heard say this, but I don't understand. This just seems like common logic to me. The ads weren't served on the first day and it was behind. So of course the second day is going to be bigger for many. I don't understand what people don't understand. The thing was an absolute shit show for the first day because the volume.
Didn't you just say 75 minutes?
It was down from 9 p.m. or something. It was down like 70 some minutes. First of all, the whole day, it just seemed like it was a funky mess. It just wasn't, I don't know. It was weird. I don't know, Ash, if you saw that, but then go ahead.
Yeah, I noticed the console being down, and I went to like, our rules still working? Like, is our tool still communicating with the console? And I think what you said was really interesting. And I wonder, do you think it's the traffic or the amount of automated tools that are communicating with the console? Because I know, like, I think about what we had in place, and there was a LinkedIn post that I saw of like I think it was Packview that had like a happy hour party because they were like, everything's automated and we can like have fun during Prime Day. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then the ads console goes down and I'm like, how many automated tools are trying to communicate with this console? And is that having an impact on on the
it's overloading it?
Yeah, and let me just be clear on this. I think it's a contributing factor. I think there's all these other things that have to, that led to this. I think there's consumer behaviors, all this other stuff. I'm just sitting there going, I think it's a confluence, like you said, of you got 700 automated machines. Reminder here, think of all the changes to the ad technology over the last, I don't know, let's just say 30 days. Every single day, the engineers are doing something. You don't think that doesn't have an effect when you have that much traffic coming in? They have that much input of data. Are you kidding me?
Oh, it totally. Yeah.
It's a tsunami of shit that is coming into that machine. And how is it supposed to handle it? So there you go. There's my, which again, I've commented, but nobody really is acknowledging that, which could be complete garbage, which I'm known for. Okay.
I don't think you're wrong. I just think it's just not a large enough part of what happened on day one.
But why is day two better? That's never happened before. It's always like 70 to 80% is your day two. You forecast that, you actually budget out your ad spend. You develop your plans for that typically, right, Ash? Or no?
Well, yes. And because of the way that we changed our strategy this year, because when we looked at traffic versus purchases by hour of last year, the amount of shopping that took place on day two, and then the amount of purchasing that happened in like the final hours, which was lower than like when it was shopping. So you could see that like people were shopping and adding to cart and then checking out later. We planned to spend just about the same, if not more, on day two because of that.
I see.
And then this year followed that same. It wasn't as readable last year. You could more see it on a brand level than an overall level, but it just happened that way, that it worked out that way. And this year was more readable. And we ended up, I think we had a like equal or a little bit higher day two because of how we spent basically and using that.
And that's another theory that's probably caught on, which also is a factor, is everybody's like, oh, you don't want to turn your ads off. That's when everybody else runs out of ad spend. So that's when you fire up the turbines and get a competitive advantage. So is there any other things you did that as we got to end this portion of the program here? Is there anything other big things that other brands can learn from this and that you're going to carry forward into the Prime Day October? Again, I'm waiting for every month to have a Prime Day from Amazon and holiday.
Did anyone use Rufus a lot to shop or ask it questions?
I tried just because I was curious, and it's I said this before, I'll repeat myself. Right now, Rufus is an absolute, it's a no ad value. Rufus the dog, go take a dump. I'm not here for Rufus right now. Rufus, all this AI stuff is too early.
Do you think there's something to optimizing to it so you can teach it early on and get in early? Because it might be that much harder to do it later.
Yes,
once everyone figures it out.
Yes, and I would add, because again, Vanessa Hung from, she's good about posting all this back end shit that's going on. Cosmos is the AI for your catalog, so that's causing all the things. Plus, that Cosmo is changing how you can manipulate and control your listing and bullet points, descriptions, and all that kind of stuff. All of this stuff they're going to automate the shit out of all this stuff. And so, yes, you have to learn how I said this, I go, I've been fighting machine for almost 20 years. Bring it on. We'll figure it out and we got to play the game.
Must remain smarter.
Yeah, I mean, you got to play the game. Go ahead, Summer.
I was just going to say, well, on that note, I think we can wrap this up. Our little Prime Day overview. Ash, I cannot thank you enough for joining us. You have been a wealth of knowledge. I think that anyone that hasn't listened to Ash's last pod that we did needs to go rewind and go check it out because she drops so many juicy nuggets, so many tips. What I love about you, Ash, is that you're all about the strategy, and she puts so much thought and research behind what she's doing. You can learn a ton. So thank you so much for being with us today.
And do we have what's that keyword coming up?
I do have keywords.
Ooh.
We'll be back right after this.
Hey, this is Josh Kreitzer, founder and CEO here at Channel Bakers, and you are listening to Always Off Brand.
Finally, a game show nerdier than an Excel V lookup. It's time for What's That Keyword? Here's your host, Haley on the news.
All right. Well, that was a great Prime Day recap, but the keywords I have for you today were not Prime focused products. Maybe that's a little hint for you guys. All right. Your first product. Well, hold on. Wow, I'm rusty. Let me lay down the rules.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a product that is sold on Amazon.com, and you have to guess the keyword or keyword phrase that converted for this product. It might be outside the box. Okay. Your first product is a portable blender.
Ooh, I know. I got one right away.
This is a portable blender.
Go, Scott.
Margarita.
I want
No?
somebody to keep a margarita.
Did I lose?
Maybe, like a mini blender in her.
I do love that idea.
Margarita.
Okay. All right. Ash, Summer, what you got?
Travel smoothie.
Ooh. On-the-go snacks.
Ooh, all right. No winner today. I was actually looking for, so it's a branded key phrase, but it's also separated in the keywords too, but NutriBullet Blender Baby or Blender Baby.
Oh my God, Blender Baby. That is
Blender
so
Baby.
cute. That
Yes.
is so cute. I love that.
And I'm not kidding when I say that almost 4,000 people have searched NutriBullet Blender Baby over the past 30 days, according to
That's
Human.
some branded keyword right there.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
I mean,
I was near that. I'm like, you could
have
buy the
one.
next 3,000.
Blender Baby. I'm like, okay, is this on TikTok or something under
So
under
cute.
Blender
It
Baby?
could be Blender Baby.
All right. Your next product are Velcro hair curlers.
Oh.
Velcro hair curlers.
Heatless curls.
Okay. Scott.
No, Ash got to go. I'm going to be drafting off of these guys.
90s hairstyles.
Or Snooki.
Salon. At-home salon.
Okay. No.
Okay.
Did Ash go? Sorry, I didn't hear
Yeah,
Ash
Ash, what do
go.
you want? Yeah.
Yeah,
she-
90s.
90s.
hair.
Oh, guess what? Summer wins!
No way.
I was looking for a heatless curl.
Nice.
Take away that buzzer. Take it away.
Son of a biscuit chip.
This is
Damn
Scott's
it.
worst day. I just ruined his Friday. That's 2 weeks in a row.
You know what? We got to go over these keywords more. This is unfair.
Oh, I love it. That was a good game, Haley.
That was so fun. All right, everybody. Thanks for playing. What's that keyword? We'll be back in just a sec with the news.
Hi, this is Beth Trejo, CEO of ChatterKick, and you are listening to Always Off Brand.
Well, that's all been fun and games, but it's that time, the time America has been waiting for. It's time for the news.
All right. I'm going to read this article, or not read this article, but I'm quoting Marketing Brew. I love their emails. I think they just have a really well-rounded little news blurb here. You guys, the kids are not okay. Summer, your boys, they're on their iPads. They're getting marketing targets, right?
Yes.
My daughter is getting targeted on her phone now. And the marketers know that these kids are using devices, no matter how old they are. In fact, I got really angry at this one company. It's called Bubble Skincare. And on Instagram, YouTube, they are using like 5-year-old little girls as influencers, and their moms are basically just pimping them out to be influencers. They're 5 freaking years old trying to sell skincare as on TikTok. Like, the kids are not okay. Like, I have a huge problem with 5-year-olds being used as influencers, first of all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, guess what? This week, just this first week of August here, the Senate passed 2 different bills. This is going to potentially affect how advertisers and marketers interact with children online.
Love this.
If they become the law. So it's called the COPPA, and I'll break down that that large acronym for you. It's the Children and Teens Online Privacy Protection Act. And so this is an updated version of a 1998 bill within the same name, and it's going to effectively ban targeted advertising and collecting personal information to anyone under the age of 17.
Really?
Yeah. So it's also going to allow parents to delete any personal information that a company may own or have collected about their child. Contextual advertising, though, is still going to be allowed. So there's that little kind of extra little tidbit in there. But this is really interesting because us as marketers, I mean, obviously we think about the age demographic of who we're targeting in what campaigns, and there's a lot of strategy and thought that goes behind that. But I don't know. I don't have any products that a teen or a tween or a freaking 5-year-old would want to buy anyways. So I don't have that strategy as part of my plans for my brands. But have you guys ever thought, or has there ever been a strategy that you've used to like maybe target these, I don't know, tweens, teens?
I mean, we do have products. Right? We have a teen girl gummy. We have kids chillax. We have kids products, but we would never target the kids. I mean, we're always targeting the parents, right? And trying to support them. But one thing I find so interesting, we've been watching Young Sheldon. If you haven't ever watched Young Sheldon, it's
love
adorable.
That show.
Adorable, right? So the new season, the last season we've been watching, we're forced to watch commercials if we want to watch it for free. And this Tide commercial keeps coming up. And now my boys separately, 8 and 10, have asked me, Mom, do we use Tide? Because it really is the best cleaner. And I'm like, this is weird. This is creepy. And you get
targeted.
But like, we're watching, it's not on their iPads, right? We're watching it on Xfinity, and it's clearly targeting moms, but there's gotta be, they have to know behind, like, this is a family show. Families watch this together. And I don't know what they're saying that has convinced my children that Tide is the best thing, which, by the way, I do use Tide, and I'm happy with it.
I use Persil. It's the only thing that gets the barn smell out of my stuff.
But no, I've never actively been like, how can we target children? They watch X, Y, and Z.
It's just wild to me. And what I'm seeing more, and maybe it's because my daughter is almost 13, so she's kind of in that middle school kind of branded trend mindset. You know, she wants what everybody else has. The problem is my daughter has eczema. She's a little ginger kid. So like the eczema on her face flares up, but she's coming to me and she's like, Mom, Drunk Elephant is the best skincare for your face. And I'm like, how do you even know what that is? And she's like, well, I saw it on YouTube, or my friends have it. Or so there's this new age of kids, and they're just, holy smokes. And I think a big part of it too is influencers.
Yes.
Because they're watching YouTube or TikTok, and my daughter doesn't have TikTok, but YouTube is a big one. She's like, oh, well, I want these brands. And they're so heavily influenced at this age in particular. So it'll be interesting to see if this comes through. I think a lot of the marketers might have, to pivot their entire strategies especially for these, I don't know, like Sephora brands. I don't know how to say that. Like it's just
this e-marketer. I just literally saw this morning. It's basically Gen Alpha, what you're talking about. Gen Alpha is like, below, I don't even know. Is that below 12? I don't even know.
Is that what Emma would be, I guess?
Yeah.
12,
But
13.
basically, this chart shows, listener, that they're on more devices than the adults.
I believe it.
If you think about all the different things, they're on more, right? They are susceptible, and basically they have visibility to more marketing than the adults. It's nutso.
Yep. It is nutso. So I don't know. We'll see if, the Senate passed it. So we'll see if it keeps working its way up.
I think this is reasonable. This sounds very European to me, which I'm in favor of.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. All right. So my next article is it's not necessarily ecom based, but it is Olympic based. But okay. What do you guys think a U.S. Olympian gets paid if they win a gold medal? Do they make any money? Do you know?
It's not really bragged about. So I'm assuming if they do make any money, it's not much.
Okay. They make $38,000. That's it.
Wow.
That is about 20 times smaller than Hong Kong's payout of $768,000.
So 4 years of training, basically a college education, and they get less than a year's salary.
These people train for way more than 4 years too.
Yes.
Think about it.
Yes.
Like
they
their
train their whole
life.
lives. Yeah.
This is their whole life. And they get paid a whopping $38,000.
Does silver or bronze get anything?
This article doesn't specify. I'm sure they do, but it's probably not much. Well, what's interesting is, sure, they don't make a whole lot of money here by the Olympic. I guess it's the Olympic Committee, right? That pays for them.
I guess. I have no idea. It's a guess.
Yeah. So they walk away with influencer deals.
Yeah.
And marketing things, luxury apartments. Now they have this clout of, I'm an Olympic gold medalist. But guess what?
What? I'm dying.
The Brits and Norwegians get no cash bonuses, and they're only in it for the glory. They might get a brand endorsement from,
it sounds
somebody,
like the owners of the Dallas
nothing.
Cowboys. This sounds like the owners of the Dallas Cowboys. Have you guys watched that DCC?
No.
The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders make $20,000 a year, but the water boy makes $60,000 a year. And they're like, well, it's an honor. It's an honor to be a cheerleader for the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. That's what the UK is doing.
Okay, get this.
Man.
Sweden and some other smaller countries gave their athletes, I'm not making this up, 5 cows and a meatball restaurant.
Separately or together?
I don't know. It just says they gave them 5 cows and a meatball restaurant.
Actually, a meatball restaurant. I'm not going to lie. That sounds pretty good.
I
do love myself.
Sure.
That's fantastic. Do they get to pick the cow? I wonder. It's like,
ooh, and are they beef cows?
That cow's too skinny. I want a fat cow.
Yeah. Are they milk cows or beef cows or pet cows or mini cows? I need more answers to these cows, but that was just a fun little Olympic nugget for the week. So, all right.
Olympics.
That's it for the news today. We'll be right back with Summer's favorite freaking part, the wrap up.
And Wendy Mathis Held's favorite part. Did you see that comment, Summer?
I did. Love you, Wendy.
Hey, this is George Westcott, e-commerce visionary, and you're listening to Always Off Brand.
What a mensch. What a beautiful person. Listen, Ash is dropping knowledge that you don't get taught. We are taught to be so reactive to Amazon. And Ash takes a step back and she says, if we really want to be successful, it starts months in advance. She was planning this back in January. And what I love that she's teaching everyone, if you're paying attention, is your new cohort of customers that you get post Prime Day leads you to have a bigger following year, because now you have all these new people that you've brought into the brand. And she has made sure that her brand is following through. Once you get them into your brand, how do you get them to stay? How do you keep them sticky? So it's quality product, which we've talked about on this show a dozen times. It's getting the product to the consumer, which through Amazon, obviously the FBA shipping is great, but like, does it arrive busted and broken? No, right? Like they make sure from beginning to end that the customer is happy. And that is key, because you can bring in as many customers as you want, but if you don't have a good product and it's not going to be able to be delivered to the customer in a clean way, you're screwed.
Or in stock. I just want to add, like, stay in stock.
Haley, you're hurting me there.
Some of it's out of your control. I get it.
You guys are aspirational for all our little teeny tiny brands and our even mid-level brands who don't have big AVSs and don't have millions of dollars in marketing spend, all that other stuff. The point is still the same. It's aspirational to me. It's what's possible.
Yeah.
But the bones of her strategy is the same. And I believe as the marketplace is so mature in the competition and real estate that we've talked about 100 times as well, I'm sorry, I hate to buckle to the full funnel jubileer, but you gotta go upper funnel, you gotta go full funnel. I hate it. It kills me to admit that.
Throw that wide net, grab those new to brand customers.
Yeah. And I met Ash through Kiri. I met Ash through this podcast. I met Ash, all these incredible people. Why Summer Jubileer?
Because people matter, and you are listening to Always
Off
Brand.
Please like, please subscribe, please share. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Toodaloo.
Hey there, this is Haley from Quickfire, and they want me to read this so you know what this podcast is part of and how to find out more if you want. Always Off Brand is a production of Quickfire LLC and a part of the Learn and Laugh series on the Quickfire Podcast Network. For more information, go to quickfirenow.com. Have a good one, and thanks for listening.